Is Holly and Max here? You guys want to say a couple things? Where's Holly? The floor is yours. These are your class reps, guys. So if you've never met them, here's Max, and this is Holly. Go on.
Cool. Hey everyone, so we're your class reps. I'm Holly and I'm the first year doing B Prop and B Conjoint.
Hi guys, I'm Max. I'm actually a third year student. I do commerce and property, so I'm just doing property 102 now. But yeah. We also just wanted to talk about today getting in contact with us if you have any problems. We have a Facebook page set up if you're not already joined. It's just Prop 102 2019. Just go on Facebook and search it up and you should find it. So just email us or message us any problems that you may have or what you think is going well with the course. It actually helps us as well. That'd be great. Cool. Cheers, guys.
Cool. And we just wanted to remind you guys about the upcoming events. So there's actually one on tonight, which is the first year mentoring at 5:30 tonight. So and then there's also the Women in Property, which is on next Wednesday. So they're really good chance for you guys to network, meet new people. The one on tonight, you actually get mentors, so you're going to hear lots about people who are already doing property and some tips and tricks. So yeah, really good events to get onto.
Thanks, guys. Oh, thank you.
Okay, just a couple things before we get started. There are 57 students in this class that are also enrolled in Infosys 110, and I've gotten several anxious emails from students because you have a test on the same night as the mid-semester test in this course. So I'm totally aware of that. Your guys' test in Infosys starts at 6:20, and I looked and you're scattered all over the show, so I get it that some of you are quite a distance from this building. So what I'm going to do is we've gone ahead and booked as many rooms as we could early. This is the computer labs where we're going to have our computer-based test. And I'm going to start 2 groups probably 20 minutes early. And those 2 groups will consist of all the students that are taking Infosys 110. So I'm going to give you guys a bit of a head start, and there'll probably be a bit of a lockdown. You can't leave the room until at least your classmates have begun their test and gotten into their computer lab. So you will be restricted. So you can't just go in and do a 5-minute test and leave, because then you might let your classmates know some of the questions and stuff, and I can't have that, sorry. So anyway, we'll figure all that out, and at some stage, maybe next week, if I organize myself well enough and figure out the test and design that, then we'll talk about it next week at the review session, or if not next week, the following week, I'll definitely give you a breakdown of the question types, and then I'll explain where the organization of the computer labs. Obviously, there's those two labs for the Infosys students. That'll be separate, and then everybody else will be alphabetical order by your family name usually, and I'll sort you out into labs. So I'll explain all that either next week or the week after. So another thing that seems to be confusing is I believe you guys all did everybody get an email from the examinations office or something like that? And it's like, hey, you're going to take a test, it's going to be an exam, it's going to be computer-based, you can bring a laptop and all this stuff. And some students immediately thought that the mid-semester test was the same, or they got the 2 crossed. As I mentioned to you before, this course is one of the guinea pigs, the pilots, that is doing a computer-based exam. Usually exams are always paper-based, old school. We are one of the first courses in the university to trial computer-based exams. So sorry, I signed you guys all up. You're part of the guinea pig crew. It's different than your mid-semester test. So keep those completely separate in your mind. Mid-semester test will be here in the computer labs in OGGB. You will use a computer that is in that lab. You will not bring your own computer. That is not an option. Totally different setup of the test, different software and all of that. It's very, very distinctly different. The reason why these emails are coming out at you for the exam is because of the difference in the software. So I use Canvas to prepare the tests. There's some, I can't remember what it's called. It's some other platform that the examinations office, this is Central University, has deemed appropriate for examinations, computer-based, because they lock down. If you bring your laptop, you got to put special software on there. It'll lock down everything, and all you can see is the test. So it's very different than going in and taking a test in the labs here. So keep them separate. You'll probably get some more emails prompting you to do a little practice exam just to see how the whole system works, particularly if you're going to bring your own computer. So please keep an eye out for these. I was supposed to go to a session, but I was not in Auckland when it happened, so I'm a little bit in the dark too, which is not good. I'll do my best to get caught up, and definitely during our exam review, I'll give a little bit of attention to the structure of the computer-based exam and what you guys might need to know before you go sit it, especially if you want to bring your own computer. Okay, so today is a very light session. All we're talking about is lecture number 4. So before, I think last week we had 7 videos. I know some of them were fairly small. And this week we only have 2. So at this point in the course, I usually start tightening the screws. So far, I've been quite lenient when I call judgment on your participation marks. I'm going to start tightening things up a little bit. So if you didn't fully watch everything, or you came in a little bit late to the discussion questions, you're listening at home and you kind of say, oh, I don't have time for this guy, and you take off and you don't answer the Kahoot questions or something like that, more often you'll get a big 0. Now, it doesn't mean the end of the world. I get all kinds of emails from you guys. You say, hey, man, I got a 0. What the heck? And then you'll shoot me an email, and I'll send you your report, and I'll kind of explain what happened. And if you're really, really close, sometimes I'm a nice guy, and I'll give it to you anyway. Sometimes I say, just better luck next time, try harder. So I'm very flexible. You guys let me know, especially as I tighten the screws. You know, you're going to be going, I got 1 every single time, and then you'll get a 0 for the first time, thinking that sucks. So shoot me an email, and we'll figure it all out, okay? They're only 0.5% each time. I know every little bit counts, but, try not to lose your head over it all. But I'm cool, I'm flexible, and I'm here to help you guys. So today, review session number 3, talking about lecture number 4, which is, we've talked about building the house, so the frame of the house, foundation systems, and now we're going to put some clothes on it and wrap it up in cladding. That's the focus. So review session 3. And I'm going to go, boom, straight into play. So I know I've been divulging some of the questions in advance, which is cool. So again, before we get started, this discussion questions, UPI only, please. All right? Oh, I didn't even check the game options. Oh, well. Whatever. It'll be all right. So here's the game pin, 303644. And I think we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 questions. Whoa, look at you guys flying in. Wow. Man, you're fast. Woo. Okay, the pin should show at the bottom, so if you guys are a little bit late, it's okay. I'll give you a few more seconds. All right, here we go. That's enough, that's enough. All right, first question. No chocolates, this is just for marks. If asphalt shingles are installed as roof cladding, the roof framing will typically feature blah. Sheathing or sarking, purlins, battens, none of that stuff. You can't remember. What is the answer? You guys can talk. Remember, you could talk. It's all cool to talk. If you tell the person next to you that... Oh, there's only 2 videos this time. Come on. Okay, all right, back to the drawing board. Woo, man. Okay. That was brutal. All right. Okay, here's the slide that I talk about this. So asphalt shingles, there's these little doodads, okay? They're kind of a whole bunch of little shingles. They're trying to pretend that they're wood. That was the old school real shingle, was a wooden shingle. And then in the U.S., they like to manufacture everything and be super, whatever they are. And they come in these big sheets. You see one of the sheets sitting sideways, right? And they look like a whole bunch of little shingles. And you'll put that up, and then you'll take a nail gun, and you need a continuous nailing surface. Okay, so if you put up purlins or something like that, and they got this, and there's this big air gap, and you start popping nails, it's just going to be shooting nails down through the roof. Okay, it's not going to hold on to anything. So you need to have something like plywood or oriented strand board, OSB, all right, which is sheathing or sarking. Yeah, that's what that is. Okay, purlins won't do you any good. And you don't use purlins when you have sheathing or sarking. Typically, you put the sheathing or sarking, bam, slam onto the rafters. Okay, let's see if we can improve. So that was pretty ugly. All right, here we go. Number 2, weather grooves and weatherboard wall cladding are designed to counter what? Surface tension? Capillary action? Is it slow? Gravity? None of these are correct. I know. It's a little bit unfair that the red and the blue are quite similar. But man, look at you guys. That's right. Okay. So what's happening here, now pay attention here because I'll tell you in advance that I think there's 2 questions in the actual, 4 chocolate competition that relate to this. I think it's 2, at least 1. So what's happening here is on, like whether yesterday or whatever, wind-driven rain particularly, okay? Good old rain is being bashed onto the side of this cladding. If a big gust of wind hits it and there's moisture here, it could push the water up, and it could push it up into this little gap between the boards, between the weatherboards. That's why they put the little groove on there, yeah? So there's a little groove notch on either side, and they line them up. And so when the water gets into there, it's called capillary action. So it's literally grabbing on, the water droplet is grabbing on to the sides of the board, and then the air pushes it up, the wind pushes it up, and then it gets up to this big gap, and it's like, man, I can't hold on to that. And so it just kind of rattles around in the gap until the wind stops blowing, and then gravity takes over and sucks it out. Okay, that's the point. Because if it wasn't in there, the wind could blow it straight up, and then you have moisture on the back side of the weatherboard. Not good. Okay, all right. But good. This is excellent. Much better than the first question, man. Okay, number 3. Which approach to finishing outside corners of weatherboard cladding tends to require additional flashing? So a little bit extra protection. Coverboards over bevelback, coverboards over rustic cladding, miter cut to either rustic or bevelback, and all require additional flashing. You're trying to pull one on me. All right, here we go. It's, again, you guys are doing well now. Excellent. All right. Very good. Okay, so what's happening here? So like in this example and the 2 on either side, that's really the spot there that's kind of danger in a sense. So again, same type of thing, wind-driven rain. It's kind of, the water's here, the wind's blowing across this side of the wall. It could get through that gap. Yeah, it's possible. But the chance of the water being able to make it all the way around that little corner is pretty slim. All right. Now there is building house wrap or building paper that's wrapped around there. So you do have a barrier, but it's not flashing. Flashing is more robust. That's what this is here, this sheet metal flashing, yeah, with the corners kind of bent around like that. So this is the bad boy that's kind of more suspect to having water get in there, because you try to be really cute and you make a nice, joint, 45-degree angle cut on either side. It looks beautiful day 1. Then it's exposed to the sun, the rain, the elements, and it doesn't look beautiful over time. It does kind of form a little bit of a gap. And so if water's going to come across this cladding, it's going to sneak in there. So you need some extra flashing protection. So wherever you have spots that are more prone to water getting past the cladding, usually you need more protection like flashing of this type. Okay, you'll have a lot around doors and windows, a lot of flashing in those areas, because that's where water tends to get in. All right. Number 4, true or false? At the bottom of masonry veneer are weep holes which allow water to drain from the air cavity behind. Watch out, false is on the wrong side. I know, you gotta watch out. It's okay. There's no candy here. Yeah, this is just for marks. And all you gotta do is attempt it. Doesn't matter if you get it right or wrong. That's good. I'm sure this is high because of the whole wrong side thing. All right. So here is the slide where I talk about this. So again, masonry veneer, it's not holding up anything, okay? It's just a pretty face, and it's very porous. So again, wind-driven rain, a lot of moisture on that wall, it will track through the brick or whatever the masonry is made of. Stone, doesn't matter. It'll all track through, and that's why you have a bit of an air cavity back there. The moisture that gets through can go down with gravity, and then at the bottom you have some kind of weep holes. It could actually be a missing mortar joint, that's what's typical. Or sometimes you could put like almost like a candle wick, you know, a piece of rope or something like that, and embed that in the mortar, and then it will absorb the moisture down at the bottom and still weep the moisture out on the other side of the wall. That's another way you see it done. Okay, so weep hole, true. All right, last discussion question, and then we're into the chocolates. Which of the following usual suspect monolithic cladding system do not follow a barrier approach? Poly-modified plaster systems, EIFS, traditional stucco, or textured fiber cement? Which of these do not follow a barrier approach? Here we go. Not the best performance, but the majority got it right. That's good. EIFS. Why'd you guys pick on poor EIFS? EIFS is really bad. Anyway. All right. Let me just show you the slides real quick, and then we'll move on. Okay, so this is the one this is the correct answer. So this does not follow a barrier approach. This is good old school stucco. So it's kind of like, it's like the brick cladding, the masonry veneer. The builders and the architects, people who design this stuff, they know when they put it in place that moisture is going to seep through and make it to the back side of it. They know. So in this case, they're really depending on the building paper, yeah? And they expect the moisture to come back through, hit the building paper, and come down and exit at what's called the drip screed, okay? So not the perfect system, okay? If you do this same system nowadays, you'll have a cavity system behind, kind of like in a brick veneer. Yeah, so you'll have more of a space there to accept the moisture that passes through. But still, the point is it doesn't rely just on this outside layer, okay? Unlike systems like this, okay, which is just another modified plaster system, very similar to that, but the whole system's the premise is that this finishing render, this very last layer, is going to keep all moisture out, okay? That and a lot of silicone sealant around is just going to be magic, and it's going to keep it out. Of course it doesn't. Yeah, it fails. Same thing with textured fiber cement, yeah? Also, the very, very last layer, this little green jobby right there, is just going to magically keep it out, okay? Doesn't. Fails. And lastly, EIFS. Same exact thing. Here you have this big kind of extruded polystyrene sheets, and you glue them onto in the good old days or the bad old days, you glued them straight onto, say, the plywood sheathing, yeah? And thinking, oh, that's all good, and then sure enough, this is supposed to protect you. That fails, and moisture can get all the way through this polystyrene and then get straight onto the unprotected plywood. That rots, and the frame rots, and so on and so forth. Okay, so these systems are just set up for failure, hence the leaky building syndrome that we have. Okay, cool. Let's just see who won. Yay! Amo! I knew you could do it. All right, here we go. Tournament number 1. Is everybody ready? Now, any name you want, doesn't matter. Okay, and again, I've learned my lesson. I'm going to hit the little button here. Tournament number 1, 102. This time I'm going to check my little game options. And I'm going to make it more complicated. I know you guys hate this. Randomly set. I know, it's evil. Name generator, hell no. Okay, cool. And we're off. Okay, 805-617. Oh, come on. Oh, you're flooding in now. Peanut? Trump. Woo. All right, I'll give you a few more seconds. It's false. Very good advice. 3 inches is huge. What species? All right, here we go. Now, you know there's only 229 students, I think, in this class. I don't know how you could do it. You're just hitting 4 devices simultaneously. Okay, here we go. Horizontal roof edges are called rakes, while sloping roof edges are called eaves. Now, there was somebody who gave really good advice earlier on. What? All right. Here we go. Taut stressed wire netting can be incorporated into building a residential roof to support the purlins, keep the chickens out, support the roofing underlay, support the battens. Speed is important, but right answers are more important. All right, now we're talking. Barcanal is taking it. Which window type is predominant in new Kiwi houses? Awning, casement, double hung. None of these answers are correct. Probably think of what you got at home. Very good. Oh, we have a change of command now. True or false? Of the discussed monolithic cladding systems linked to leaky building syndromes, EIFS provides additional insulation. Oh man, did that quiet the room. If you know what EIFS stands for, you know the answer to the question. Okay. We'll move on. That is correct, yes. Hugh must have got it. Roof underlay is always placed above the roof cladding, above the roof battens, above the roof purlins. None of those are correct. What is it placed above? It's very odd to be placed above the roof cladding. You have to admit that. Okay. A lot of guessing, but anyway. All right. Bob. Is Bob in the house? Oh, back row. Okay. I'm going to use one of the heavy ones. Okay, watch out. Okay, here we go, Bob. Oh, you were trying to be too cute about it. Is Tony with 2 eyes in here? It's Tony. Tony. Whoa. Tony's not here? Aw, Tony. Okay, is Hugh Jonas here? How do you pronounce it? Is that a celebrity? I'm such an old person. Is the cowboy hat guy what is that, what's that video? Oh, sorry. Is Frey in the house? Excellent. Okay, all right. I got extras now. Okay, we'll figure it out at the end. Watch out. Okay. Go away. R3, tournament number 2. Awesome. Classic. 2, 2, 3, 5, 7, 4. I knew that was coming. Uh-huh. Oh, wow, look at you guys coming. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, I need to keep track. I'm get blindsided. Okay, I think I could just go, huh? Four questions. Which of these roof tiles prevalent in New Zealand do not feature roof caps set into mortar? Glazed Spanish tiles, concrete tiles, pressed metal tiles. None of these require mortar. It's kind of common sense. Very good. Does everybody get that joke yet? Roofing underlay is required in New Zealand under all metal-clad roofs, regardless of the roof pitch or slope. True or false? Let's see if there's an even split here. Come on. I got 350 people sign up, but only 200 are answering. Excellent. Good job. Mike's still on top. Oh, yeah. Weather grooves are designed to counter. Oh, now you guys should all get this right. Come on. That's right. I have the right to put none of the above as a multiple choice answer, okay? You will see this kind of thing on your test. It is evil, I know. Oh, so much for Mike. Okay, now the key word is below. You could do it. Boy, that was ugly. Okay, let's see. This might be a surprise to some of you. Tips. Oh, Teeps. Is that you? Good job, man. Sister. Oh, good job. Shuttle Boys. Over there. Oh, snagged it. Big Buffoon. Oh. Crust. Yay. Okay, let's see. I got 3. So, we're going to do a little lolly scramble. Okay, don't fight each other over this. Look out! Sorry, whoever